So the first topic I'm going to talk about is that a new Fantastic Four trailer came out. Now, I've been really excited for this movie. I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. The fact that you have the show on WandaVision, which I love that show. And I just love the aesthetic, the look of this movie. I thought the teaser was great. I thought this was even a better trailer. I thought this trailer gave just enough story details without giving too much away. And I just love the who they cast in this for this movie. And as someone who felt like I haven't had a good Fantastic Four movie, I didn't like any of the Fox movies. This trailer felt like this movie's gonna capture the spirit of Fantastic Four, where it's gonna really feel like they're a family. And I love the fact that you see in this trailer that the Fantastic Four have been established in this on this Earth, since this is gonna take place on a different Earth, not in the main MCU timeline. The fact that they're famous is going to play into the celebrity status where they're celebrating the Fantastic Four. And I thought there was just like fun, joyful moments at the beginning of this trailer where you really get a sense that they're famous and they're beloved by the people on the earth. So I thought that was really cool. And they do like a little recap of the origin, which I'm glad they're not doing a whole origin from what it seems like in this movie, where you're going to spend like a huge chunk of it on the origin story. I love the moment with the thing where he like lifts up the car in front of the kids. I thought that was a cute, fun moment. And the moment where you see like Johnny Storm telling Sue where you're late for dinner, and you see Sue's reaction like he's thinking he's figured it out, and just when you see the thing go like you're pregnant, and you see Johnny Storm's reaction, I thought that was just a great like moment. Like you get a little bit more family interaction in the show with that moment, which I thought really even just for that moment, I was like, this feels like this is a movie that's going to really nail down that this is a family, which I just felt like they never really quite got in those past Fantastic Four movies with the Fox ones. So, and I just my and like my favorite moment of trailer is Shining Storm going to Weed like, "Oh, you're gonna be a great dad." I'm kidding. You're out of your depth. So I thought it was a great Johnny Storm moment in the trailer. And the thing I think looks great. Like I love the look of the thing, and you do see the Silver Surfer in this show. I think she looks great in the show. Like I love the look of the Silver Surfer. I'm also really curious about. You see a line in the trailer. You hear a line in the trailer where he says where he's with Sue saying he stressed time and they held back. So I'm curious. Like is is Glasses and Silver Surfer coming to the Earth gonna play into some kind of like reverses did something, or is that gonna play into the multiverse? Which obviously gonna be appearing in the next Avengers movie, Doomsday. So I'm curious how that's gonna play into the plot. Like, is Weverse like responsible in some way for getting Glass and Silver Surfer? So I thought that was really interesting. And Pedro Pascal, I think, is gonna do a great job. Like, to me, I don't think any of the past actors have really done Mr. Fantastic all that well. When it comes to most of the characters, like the only casting I like in the past movies was Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis, but everybody else knows Tim Story ones I thought was miscast. And 2015 Fantastic Four movie wasn't very good either. So I feel like Peter Pascal is really gonna bend the weight amount of like gravitas while still like feeling like a leader. And I think him and from that quick glimpse in the trailer with the scene where it's revealed that she's pregnant, I feel like they're gonna have really good chemistry, those two actors. But I thought that was interesting with him sounding like maybe he could be responsible in some way with Glasses and Silver Surfer coming. And I even love that moment where like people ask him like, "Oh, are we gonna be okay?" He goes like, "I don't know." I love that response. Like I love how in this trailer you're kind of like I'm thinking coming out of this trailer like, "Oh, I don't think they're gonna be able to save the Earth. I think the Earth's gonna get destroyed." Which I could be wrong, but I love how it just leaves you like this feeling trailer like you feel the stakes in this trailer. Like okay, you feel like in this coming out of this trailer like maybe they might not be able to stop Glasses. And I love the little shot of Glasses with his feet roaming across the city with the end shot. So I thought that was like a little. I thought that was a great tease there. Wow! Again, I think this show does a great job about reviewing too much. So overall, I think this is a great second trailer. I cannot wait for Fantastic Four first steps. Next topic is Thunderbolts put out the final trailer. Which I've been really excited for this movie. I think all the trailers have been great. The idea of this movie, I think, is really exciting with the fact you're dealing with like a bunch of characters that are kind of broken people and they find a family within each other. I think this is really compelling. And I think this trailer to me was a great emotional trailer. Like I love all the trailers. this trailer I think definitely goes into the more emotional part, and like I can always tell in the past trailers, I feel like they're gonna have a great banter, but just the idea of like you see Elena breaking down, and you see like how I'm gonna guess going to Void brings out like the like your past sins and things that you regret you did. And I love that moment Elena's like breaking down, going like, I've done, I did so many bad things, and I think this is going to be like one of those moments that's going to be emotional. I also feel like these trailers have done a great job making us feel like different from other MCU movies. So I think the Aston looks great. I think the Sanctuary looks like he's going to be definitely a threat in this trailer. And I love the lines with the Red Guardian where you really get those moments of him being a dad to Elena. So overall, I think this is a great trailer, and I can't wait for Thunderbolts. Like to me, this and Fantastic Four are like some of my most anticipated movies of the year. The next thing is that James Gunn put out a 2 minute Superman thing a couple of days ago, behind the scenes thing. I thought this was great. Like everything I see and hear from this movie, this gets me more and more excited. As a Superman fan, who's that's my favorite character. I love you get some shots of the other heroes, which looks like they're definitely going practical with some of these, with most of the heroes in this movie. And I'll be honest, I'm really kind of digging the costume more now. Like I kind of like the bite and Trunks thing. I thought it was really funny with the actor who's going to be playing Superman, talking about how he's like when his underpants out and open, at like the trunks out on the open and it's liberating, which I thought was just a nice funny moment. And I just love what James Gunn said about like Superman being normal and this beautiful character was. It just feels like this is somebody who gets the hope of Superman, because yes, Superman struggles. He has his doubts, but there's still a sense of hope with the character. And like I always say this with people is that you go to the Superman Lois show that just ended, the live action show. You go to my events, the Superman anime series, which I think are the best modern interpretation of Superman, including Smallville, which I love. But those are all, even though those three shows are all different interpretations, you see him, down himself in all three of those shows, and that always remain hopeful. You still have a sense of joy and hopefulness with the character in those interpretations, even though they're all different interpretations. And I feel like that in the behind the scene when you see that actually plays Lois Lane, 'cause you get a little bit of a look at the data plan, which I think looks great. As he talks about, this is a character full of hope, and we need that. And I do think we need that in this world. I think we need a character that we can look up to and go like, this is a character that makes us want to be better. And I just feel like James Gunn, when he talks about how noble Superman is in this 2 minute behind the scenes, like everything just looks great. I mean, everything they've been saying, and this just makes me more excited. So I cannot wait for James Gunn's Superman movie. The next thing is so it's been announced that Star Wars Celebration that a Star Wars movie called Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, directed by the Deadpool movie director, is coming in 2027. And this, I know there's been reports going around. This movie is happening, but this is now officially being confirmed. And I'll say this: I'm excited for this if this happens. There's not a whole lot of story details on this, other than it's coming in 2027, and Ryan Gosling is going to be the lead in the movie, and you have the director who did Deadpool, Ween, Adam Project, and Free Guy, which I'm a big fan of that director. But it's hard to get too excited about this because there's been so many Star Wars movies announced, and they end up not happening. That I'm like Ryan Gosling, he's a great actor. I love the idea of him being the lead of a Star Wars movie. I love the choice of director. I'm excited for this, but I'm also like, yeah, I'll believe it when it actually happens. They've announced so many Star Wars movies, Kathy Kennedy at Lucasfilm, and they never end up happening. So I hope this happens. I really do. Like if it happens, I'm excited for this. But I'm also like, we'll see. Lucasfilm has definitely been on a track record of announcing Star Wars movies and just not really, never like getting to make them. Like I know you still have the Taika Waititi one. I know like Kevin Feige was working on one, and there's been so many Star Wars movies announced that at this point I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. But if this does happen, I am excited for it, and hopefully this does happen. Like I'm glad to have a official date was coming out in 2027, and it's been confirmed officially that Ryan Gosling is going to be a lead in the movie. because I think he's a great actor and I'm a big fan of him as an actor. So hopefully a Star Wars movie happens called Starfighter. And I like the title. The next thing is, so Until Dawn First Reactions came out. Which I have interest in this movie, but I never played the game. So I'm not too familiar with the game at all. I'm not like this isn't a movie I'm really excited for, but the trailers look interesting. And basically, the first reactions came out, and they were actually really positive. A lot of people saying this is a fun and entertaining movie. Like, yeah, one here saying is, I told Dawn movie is one of the most delightful ingenious horror films of the year. Dubbing as a loving image to the genre, it slays all day, while all night long. Deals and kills and glory. A crowd bleeds with well-crafted series, sneaking in some sincerity through the back door. If you're open to the one negative I'm hearing from these reactions, and this is probably something that's not going to affect me because I've never played the games, but I know this movie's gotten some backlash because people have said it's not really at all like the games. But again, I never played the game, so this is probably going to be a negative that won't affect my personal opinion of the movie. If you're open to diverting it from the game, you're in for a great time until dawn. Promise is super fun with likable assemble cast, tons of surprise guys, and golly gore. It feels like a 2000 horror movie in the best way. I didn't want it to end. I had a blast. It plays a little loose and fast with a little, but so much cares. Plays the scenes and kills keeping them fresh and novel. Strong cast, performances slightly in the teens and trouble by solid FX nailed it. Well, Until Dawn is my surprise horror movie of the year. It takes video game turns into a glorious bloody film of compressible scenes and funny moments. The deaths of fast and the cast has an incredible chemistry. This film is so much fun. So you have like 4 reactions there. With the one comment being that it sounds like video game fans. It sounds like it doesn't really. It's not very much like the games, and it sounds like that could. It sounds like with video game fans that maybe people who are testing the game aren't gonna. That's gonna be a problem for people who love the game. So not only the most Until Dawn is the most horror movie of the year. Chuck Ford increases bases, creepy production design, and assemble of game actors the most. And Julius capitalizes on the base promise. It's a meta horror play, so you want to see it with an audience. So it sounds like, and even the last 2 reactions here sounds like it's positive. So all the reactions sound pretty positive. The one comment down it being that it sounds like it doesn't really follow the game, and it sounds like that could be like maybe the one negative for people who love the game. Again, for me, I had interest in this movie. It wasn't me I was really excited for, but this does make me more interested into that Dawn movie. And I never played the game, so if I do end up seeing it, that's probably not going to be a negative for me because I'm not familiar with the game at all. So, and then the last thing is that Lilo and Stitch sounds like it's going to open to, I believe, to like domestically it's going to open bigger than Snow White, which I would not be surprised because the Lilo and Stitch live action movie, I think, is going to do extremely well in my opinion. Like the trailer, I think it's going to make a lot. It's going to make a lot of money. I mean, I think the trailers look great. I think the movie's going to make a lot of money. Yeah, it's set to outgrow Snow White's entire U.S. opening. Its entire U.S. one is opening weekend. So, like, I think this movie says it is on track to 100 million in its 3-day opening. With Snow White domestically, it was 83. I'm not surprised by that. The Lilo Stitch trailers have looked great. I think a lot of people are excited for this movie. I think the animated movie has even grown more popular. And I know as someone who just checked out the animated movie last year, I thought that anime was great, and I think the trailers look like they capture what was great about the anime movie while adding new stuff. So I think this movie could definitely make 100 or even more. I think it's gonna make over 100. Lilo and Stitch. Like to me, I think it's gonna be one of the biggest movies of the year personally. But yeah, I'm not surprised by this. I think Lilo and Stitch is gonna make tons of money its opening weekend. I definitely think it's gonna be a big hit this year, and trail wise, this looks fantastic. So as a Lewis's fan, hopefully it ends up being good. And I'm glad to hear that it sounds like the movie is a lot of people are excited for the movie. So that's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.